Hey, everybody. I'm Austin Cole.
And I'm Mike Flannery.
This is another episode of Money Talks. And hey, the last two episodes that we've done were on beautiful, gorgeous, sunny days. And the last one we did, I said, hey, it's even nicer than it was the last time we did Money Talks. And now it's even nicer again today. So I think we'll just keep doing Money Talks because every time we do it, the weather is great. So
it must be us.
By watching Money Talks, you are contributing towards the weather being nice.
Directly. Love that.
We just had a really awesome closing yesterday where, I mean, truly, it warmed my heart because we had a veteran that we made a homeowner, essentially.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I put a post on Facebook just how I really can't explain that feeling. And on the surface, right, when you tell people you're in real estate or lending, it kind of seems, whether you know a lot about it or not, it just doesn't seem as emotional as what it really is. And yesterday was really cool. I went to bed last night and just felt like all the long hours and longer days of stressful loans and just trying to get things done, that one really hit home for me, that I love what I do so much, and to impact a veteran in that way was probably one of the cooler experiences I've had in my career. I
think one of the things that made that particular deal so special was that if that had not worked out, that veteran would have been homeless with his son. In fact, he was homeless because he sold his house. Just to give Mike some credit here, guys, I won't go into all the details, but we just had a very tough deal where we had a buyer on one of my listings had some trouble getting financing with a different loan officer at a different firm, and essentially he gave you a shot to try to see if you could get it done, and you did. He had sold his house and literally was sleeping on friends' couches. And so for you to be able to pull through and put that effort in and get that deal done by just using your tenacity, essentially helped a veteran that deserves homeownership, right? I mean, we're coming off Memorial Day weekend here, guys. This is all fresh in our mind. I mean, how much we respect these guys. And
yeah, it was pretty cool, and just a great guy all around. It was an interesting situation for sure, but that's what you come across in this business. You roll with the punches and you figure out ways to get our clients what ultimately they're looking for. And in some situations we can't do that, and in others we see some opportunity, and that was one of them. Where I thought, wow, if we can really put a collective effort, to help him out, being a veteran and having sold his home, and now living with family members for the time being, waiting to close on his new place was unique for sure, but it just gave us more motivation to get it done. And Fairway as a company, we work a lot with veterans and different types of organizations and charities, and we have a phenomenal program with the American Warrior Initiative. And so I've been to some of those events, and to see veterans receive service dogs, that have been on waiting lists, and to see some of the life, after what they've been through and them serving our country, to bring that to loans and them trying to buy a home, it's just a really cool, unique feeling that, like I said on my Facebook post, I really couldn't describe it to you, but it was just an awesome collective effort between yourself on a buddy's listing, right? He calls you to sell his house, and you hit some bumps in the road, to say the least. And then on the flip side, right, we also have a happy seller that finally sold his house, right? So congratulations to him as well, because that can be a stressful time. I know he's building another home. It's this domino effect of real estate, guys, and we say this a lot, but the reality is, if you've got someone selling a house and someone buying a house, most likely the person selling has to go somewhere else, right? They have to either buy another place, unless you're moving to Florida or a retirement community. You're usually selling to rebuy, and it goes down the line. And so when you have a transaction like that, where a buyer possibly has a loan or something other in that transaction fall apart, not only does it impact them, but it impacts the people selling the house.
I think it's just really, really wonderful to have that feeling, knowing that we were able to help a veteran out. We talk a lot about the issues that we run into with deals, guys. Not every single deal that we do, whether it's Mike and I together or separate, whatever, not every single deal that we do is a tough one, but we run into stuff a lot. We're a team, as an example, with that last deal, we actually had to reach out to the city, right? And get some documentation from the city. So, I mean, it's not just a matter, when we're dealing with real estate, the way we do, when we run into problems, it's not just a matter of, hey, I need to get the lender what he needs, or hey, the title company has a question. I mean, there's times where we're literally dealing directly with contractors. We're dealing directly with officials in the city that are making decisions about the way properties are zoned, about different laws, in the municipality. And sometimes we need to get clarification and work directly with those guys to get deals done. When we talk about these issues, sometimes it almost, because we can't disclose so many details, it's sort of like, hey, like, what do they mean when there's problems? And it can sometimes get that deep where you're literally, talking to, officials that are working for the village.
Yeah, and that's just the beauty of real estate, right? When you're buying and selling properties or land or really anything, the municipality has different rules, different codes, different zoning ordinances, and so you got to reach out to some of those. On the tougher deals, at least, sometimes you need some assistance to either show an underwriter or just to present a strength, right, on their behalf, if that's really the case. There are so many intricacies behind the scenes, guys. That's why it's so important to take your time with not only being pre-approved, right, but then also shopping for a home, because behind the scenes, the stuff that we actually do versus just talk to you about on my end, right, loan programs, interest rates, how much money you're going to need to bring to secure the loan, and then on Austin's end or any other agent that I work with, showing places, right, going in and out of homes and writing offers in a pretty competitive market. Behind the scenes, the stuff that actually goes on is so much more intricate, and so giving us the proper time. Not that we can't work quickly and under pressure. Obviously, we prove that time and time again. But having those things and having everything ironed out in front of you makes all the difference in the experience when push comes to shove and you actually are under contract buying a home.
I think it's a great point to end on, Mike. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Austin Cole.
I'm Mike Flannery. We'll see you guys next week.